we're going to talk about the Raiders a little more with Henry Ruggs, but I do kind of want to talk about this before. Von Miller is officially now with the Rams. That defense now already has Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. Now they add Von Miller. I mean, what did you guys think about that trade?
I mean, I thought it was a great pickup. The Rams just love not being able to draft too, so that helps them as well. But I've made the joke to Hayden a bunch that if him and I were lined up on a D line with Aaron Donald, we'd be able to get 2 sacks by the end of the season. So putting Von Miller there too, that like Von Miller could get double-digit sacks now at the half point of the season by the end point, just because of the double and triple teams that Aaron Donald faces. That defense just keeps getting better and building it off superstars too. That's what the Rams love to do. And it's really unique because the only other team that does it really is the Titans. And that, didn't work out for him now because your biggest superstar got hurt. But keeping those 3-4 guys healthy that are studs, they're going to win a lot of football games now, more with Von Miller.
When I saw this trade, the first thing I said to Jake was actually that I can't believe how much like the entire NFL landscape is just still sitting and like I think Von Miller helps this team. That's really what I need to preface with this statement. But I can't believe how much like people are still talking about these players from like the 2011 NFL draft class as if they're huge playmakers, like they're in their prime. I'm just like looking around at names I remember from that era, like Patrick Peterson, Cam Newton, AJ Green, JJ Watt. I don't know if they're as much of an impact as they were in their prime. People still view them that way. I think Von Miller's a significant pickup for the Rams, and it will improve them. But I don't know if it'll be as much of an impact as people think that it will be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Just with what the Rams have done lately, like they gave up a second and third round pick. They gave up 3 first round picks for Stafford. Now they don't have a second or a third round pick. It is interesting that the Rams pretty much just trade all their assets for players right now. And I think the Rams, to be honest with you, they're probably one of the best teams in the NFL, maybe the best team or the second best team in the NFC. Stafford is looking like an MVP candidate. Of course, he was freed out of Detroit. Adding Von Miller, he definitely is not in his prime as he used to be, but I still think he's a good player, and he'll probably get a few sacks with Aaron Donald being on that team as well. So, I think the Rams what it goes to show you that they want to win now, and they don't really care about draft picks, as we've already seen. What have you thought about the Rams season so far? Do you think Stafford right now should be somewhere in that top 3 MVP list?
I think it's very hard to still figure out which, especially in the AFC. The AFC right now to me feels like it's wide open. From the NFC perspective, it feels like there's like last week I would have said there's like 2 like really obvious like front runners, and even then like that kind of got like flipped on its head on a week to week basis. I think the Rams are in a really good position to be definitely a Super Bowl contender, and it's just so hard because my your recency bias wants you to change your opinion so quickly. But obviously the Rams have had the last 3 game slate they've had have been against like 3 of the worst teams in the NFL, which has really made them look good and really probably given everybody the idea that they're riding high right now. So trying to like combat that with like being realistic in expectations, I still think it is realistic to say that these guys definitely have one of the best rosters in the NFL. And even though I did mention that Von Miller is not what he used to be, I think the crazy thing is that even though he's not nearly at that level, he could be a piece that is potentially the difference between them winning the Super Bowl or not even making it to the Super Bowl or something like that, because that small of a difference with how good this team already is huge. And I think that the addition of Stafford this off season rather really made it so that this team is like one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, for the NFC with me, I still have trouble taking Tampa Bay off of 1. but it's like a 3-way tie for 2 after that. And I agree with what Hayden said. It's the Rams are riding this high of playing these bad teams, and then going into like last week, I was like, but after this week, they're playing the Titans, so it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a real game. And now the Titans lose their biggest playmaker and Derrick Henry for the season. And now it seems like they might just steamroll over them too. Right now, the Rams have a really easy path to just gobble up regular season wins and then go into the postseason riding high.